Yeah.
Okay, very good. So what will happen? I'm using the earphone now, but going forward, we will use only the chat option to for all the confirmations. Anyway, let us begin. Very good morning to all of you. Uh, to the new world of learning, new way of learning, but the subject remains same, the concepts remain same, the people remain same, the teacher also will remain the same. Okay. Uh, Hope all of you have joined, whoever was there. Uh, the same meeting ID which we have shared at the beginning will continue to be there every day. So no change in password and no change in username unless otherwise specified. So financial management, which is going to be the topic for next few days. Um, okay, hope all of you received the material also, either PDF copy or the hard copy. You have the book with you. Okay, good,
Yes,
good, good. One second. Okay, good. So let us move on to the subject. My name is CA Chinmaya Hegde. I cleared the exam in 2010. Though my articleship got over in 2010, I passed the my exam got over in 2010, but my articleship got over only in the year 2011. And after that, I worked in a equity research firm for about 5 years, and presently I'm now into teaching line. So before we start anything else, when we start a subject, of course concepts are important, exams are important, but in my opinion, keeping a idol, keeping a person whom you look up to is also very, very important. Different subjects, different people have done great things. In the world of financial management, I would like to keep two names in our mind whenever we talk about the financial management. One name from India, that is Rakesh Junjunwala, and I don't know whether how many of you have seen him. This is his picture. And another person is Warren Buffett. So these two persons whom I look up to whenever I talk about financial management or about stock market or about any decision in general related to financial management. Give me one second. Okay. So Rakesh Jhunjhunwala is a chartered accountant, so it should be more closer for us to look up to his footsteps. More about it in the coming days we will discuss. But if you have time, since you are in the you are at home now mostly, and you have access to internet, instead of watching something else, instead of reading about something else which is on Facebook, WhatsApp, which you can do, use your time to understand these as these people's to understand about what these people have told, what these people have done, especially Rakesh Jojinwala, because he is a chartered accountant. Yes, Rakshit, you're speaking something, Rakshit? Yeah, okay, done. Okay, yeah. So he's a chartered accountant. So look up to him, look up to their actions, words. You will find plenty on the Google. You can read through it. As and when we discuss about a topic, I will give the references. We will not be reading about them some biography and all, but definitely we will use their experience, their words, their intention, their word of caution when we move to various topics. But when you have time also, please try to read about them. You get lot of stuff which is just beyond books. So keep yourself inspired is the first thing I can tell you. This one. So 13, 3, 39. I don't know if how many of you people can really understand this one. This is my rank at various levels of CA. 13th rank is my CA foundation, that was PE1 then, and third rank in the intermediate, and 39th rank in the CA final level. So all the three levels I got the rank. The reason why I'm telling you this at the beginning itself, not because I've done something great, something. The reason is, uh, many people, uh, these things I used to tell at the end, where I used to tell like how to approach for exams, what to do, what technique to approach, things like that. Then students have told me, sir, if you tell these things from the beginning, we would have taken you more seriously from the beginning. Now that you are telling at the end, we can't change anything in the past. That's the feedback I got. So from that point onwards, I am going for the initial class itself, like how to approach exam, how to approach this subject, and about myself, I'm covering in the first class itself. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all these ranks, as I told you, is not because I wanted to show off something. It is because the technique which I teach, the process we follow, the formats we use, all are tried, tested, and verified techniques. You can also place your confidence in me, in our methods, the number of problems we solve, and the way we are going to approach it. So you can have that confidence. Just to have that confidence, I wanted to show some kind of a proof. So just to look up to your life, or before that, uh, after all these three ranks which I've got, I joined corporate. I worked as an equity research analyst for 5 years, and then I joined teaching. And now at present, I'm fully only into teaching at Advait and various other academies, and Bangalore Institute and Mangalore Institute and so on. So people ask me this question, especially relatives. When you are a chartered accountant, that too with ranks all three levels, and having corporate experience, why you come to teaching? Many people don't understand. It has various aspects to it, but let me, and different people will tell different answers to that. I will tell you the honest, proper reason. After becoming a CA, you have two choices: either be in practice or go to employment. Many people go to employment, but you know there are two choices after becoming a CA: either be in practice or go to employment. If I have to keep it in very simple words, what is employment? Employment means the process of getting paid for scolding from your manager or from your boss. Higher the level of scoldings, higher will be your salary. My dear friends, I hope you are having some smile on your face. In my classes, I'll try to tell some jokes. I cannot have immediate interactions on the online, but I hope you are reacting. Just to keep the class alive, I use these kind of jokes in a way, and I know many students' reactions like, this is also a joke. This joke I have heard yesterday in some WhatsApp group, in Facebook, some places, and so on. So, whatever may be the case, my request, if you react, if you laugh at my joke, if not laughing, at least smile at my joke, it keeps you alive and it is good for your health. And at this age, if you don't laugh, what will happen to you when you get old? When you become older, what will happen? If you want to see, go to nearby parks. I don't know if parks are open now, but go to nearby parks. What the age-old people, senior citizens, would be doing there? You understand? Those are the people who are having like laughing club, ha ha ha, something. When they were at your age, they were not laughing, they were not enjoying. So be it good joke, bad joke, poor joke, whatever it is, react, laugh, at least a smile, so that you keep yourself happy and you keep yourself focused. Okay. Now, so what I was telling. So uh, two kinds after CA, either be in practice or be in employment. So employment is a process of getting paid for scolding from your manager or from your boss. What is practice? Practice is also a process of getting paid, but for scolding from two kinds of people. One is government department like income tax, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, who don't understand how business work, and you have to deal with business people who don't understand how the government works, government department, government official, how they behave and interact. In between this business and the government, there is a sandwich called as chartered accountant. So you get more scoldings, you get more salary. Now, is there a profession where you can scold somebody else and still get paid for it? The only profession is teaching. Now, second point connected to that, why teaching is so great. You know, in general, in market, in any transaction, when a person pay money, you want the most out of it. You pay 20 rupees for idli, you want 2 idli, you want chutney, you want sambar, you want extra sambar, you want second type of chutney, on that you want extra. Why? Because you paid for it. Same thing goes for all other areas. When you make a payment, you want as much as possible. Is there a profession where even after making a payment, you're happy if you get less? You make a payment, but you're happy when you get less and less and less. That is again teaching. Now, if I tell you today we'll finish the class at 8:30, I think I can already see some happy faces. No, we are not stopping the class at 8:30. I just gave you an example. So when you get a news that class will get over today, no class, no test, this class is not happening, people are happy. You make a payment, but you're happy by getting less. Is there any better profession? Anyway, for some people, teaching is a profession. For some people, teaching is a passion, and for me, it is an obsession. Okay, so that's it about me. More about you will go through it now. During registration, how you were, and during exams, how you will happen. I think as of now, what is happening, you can definitely see. Now, few questions that you need to answer here. CA, how many years course? Can some of you message by chat? CA is how many years course? Okay, so the question is, the point is, all answers are right answers. Whether you say 4 years, you are right. If you say 5 years, you are right. 6 years, you are right. You can do in any number of years. It is not a BCom, MBBS or engineering course which will have a definite number of years. It's not a year course, it is a level course. So you should be prepared for these kind of questions, especially from your friends and relatives who don't have knowledge about the CA or its course. And that's one point I would like to stress upon very, very clearly. Whether you do in CA 5 years or 6 years, it does not make you good or it does not make you bad. What is important is, in those 5 years or 6 years, how much you have prepared. That matters when you come to the practical life. So I know many people who completed the CA in 5-year course have not good jobs, and who cleared the CA in 6 years. In fact, I took 6 years to complete everything at first level and with rank. I took 6 years. I took my time. I'm having a good exposure. So the point is not at all how many year course. So don't have any objective or within this many years you have to complete. It's good if you finish it earlier, but don't just focus on number of years. Focus on what you learn, and more importantly, you have to plan. I really feel bad for these people who are writing the exams currently. Like for 3-4 months saving, they're taking so much of risk. Not worth it. Not worth it. When you have time, use it, plan it, and then more importantly, execute it. Don't worry or don't have any constraint to your mind that I should complete in so many years. Of course, have an objective. I want to complete in first attempt. Finishing CA is important, but doing it first attempt will give you a lot of edge, lot of advantage when you go to the interviews and certain jobs, certain companies. So number of year is not at all a constraint. Keep it in mind. Your focus should be on passing the exams with good marks, of course with conceptual clarity. Number of years does not really matter. CA, what are the steps? So many things. 3 levels are there: foundation, intermediate, and final. But more importantly, there are other things like some ITT should be done, some the GMCA should be done, advanced ITT. I have no idea. I've cleared the exam long time back and I'm happy about it. But you please be careful what are to be done, because many people miss out by focusing only on exams. It's not just exam, it's much, much beyond that. Okay, this one question you must be used to it, if not so far. CA, which year? Because they'll ask, BCom, which year? Third year, oh, final year, very good. Engineering, which year? Oh, fourth year, the third year, okay, very good. Like that, people ask, people are used to it. MBA, first year. CA, which year? We write the exam every year. We don't know which year. We can't answer that question. Which college? People have, no? Like MBBS, this college, degree, this college. CA, no college. No college means then relatives will ask, oh, no college. Correspondence course. Ah. You should be used to it. No choice. Now, CA, it is a profession where you can't tell yourself a junior or a senior. You can't tell either of them. Because if you tell yourself a junior, that's a matter of degradation. How can you call yourself a junior? Never. You can't call yourself in CA senior also, because if you say I'm a senior, 5th attempt, 15th attempt, that's also not good. So CA is a course where you neither want to be a junior nor want to be a senior. Complete confused. CA passing mark. Okay, this one area I need to focus for your benefit. You also should keep it in mind. What is the passing mark in CA exams? Can you people reply? What is the passing mark in exams? I will tell you the definition of passing mark. More than that, it is pass. Less than that, it is fail. What is a passing mark? 40. Okay, so some answer I'm getting 40. Now, more than 40, it is pass, you may say. Less than 40, it is fail. Yes. So, person score 41 may pass. A person score 58 may fail. That is the beauty about it. So, what you should understand, passing is not a mark, it is a range. What is that range? If it is less than 40, that is fail. 40 to 60 is a question mark. More than 60 is passing mark. That is, less than 50 you fail, more than 60 you pass, between 40 to 60 you may pass or you may fail. That is why, or that is the most important problem in CA passing. Most of the people, 95% of the people, or I'll say many people, have scores between 40 to 60. They pass, but they they don't pass. That is, you should understand the mechanics of it very clearly initially itself. What is that? 40 into 4, if I take one group, you know it should be 160, but ICA want it to be 200. And 40 into 8, it is going to be 320, but ICA want it to be 400. That is, passing a paper is not same as passing a group, is not same as passing an exam. All the three are different aspects. I know a lot of friends who written exam along with me have scored 41 and passed, and I know other friends who scored 56, 58, 59 and failed and had to write the next exam. This is a beautiful place where you can pass in all the papers, you can still fail. So if you score 40 in all the papers, 14 to 8, 320, you passed all the papers, but the exam not passed. It's a very, very strategic blunder that CA students do. They focus on subject, not sufficient. I know the level comprises of 8 subjects. You have to read 8 subjects only. But that is not sufficient. Your strategy should be not just to pass exams. No, your strategy should not be just to pass one paper, but to pass the exam, but to pass the group. For those things, it will not happen by itself. You can't tell, no, I'll give my best. It will happen. It will not happen. You have to make it happen by appropriately following certain strategies. One of the simplest strategy I would say is target 1 or 2 subjects. I'll give an example. In my CA final exam, or let's say intermediate, in accounts, I had only one subject in accounts. I had got about 89 in one subject. But in another paper, I had audit, I had scored some 46 or 44. And remember, this is the marks of a third rank holder. Why? Because I prepared like that. I mean, the rank was not in my hands, but preparation was always intended that way. What intention? That I know I'm good at accounts, numbers, costing, FM. So my focus was always more on that, so that I wanted to capitalize on that. I wanted to make sure I get the maximum marks. You see, how much is 89 plus 46? It's about 145 or 140, 145 approximately, or 130, 135. Okay, 135. Now, if I want 135 like 60 and 75, or if I want it in exact like 60, 60, I don't get it. You understand? The average marks cannot be obtained. So, if you want 50% in all the subjects, you cannot score 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. It will not even be 40, 60. It will be 70 plus by 1 or 2 subjects. I have done the analysis. I have done the research. If you score 80 plus in one subject, at least, you are going to pass majority of the cases. And what is the majority of the cases who don't pass are the people who revolve around 41, 45, 51, 55, 44, 39. They are always in that range. They never go out of that range for one subject. And at the same time, don't be too ambitious. This is not your regular exams. Don't say I will score 80 plus in all 8 subjects. It is humanly impossible. It is humanly impossible. It never happened so far. It never happened so far. Any from the year 1949, the institute started, nobody scored 80 plus in all the subjects that I've written. So you also don't have that ambition. That is not going to happen. If anybody says I want to do and they put the efforts, we can reserve one bed in mental hospital for sure. You cannot become an expert in all 8 subjects. So what is the summary? Passing a CA exams requires some strategy, and that strategy should be pick 1 or 2 subjects where you can give your extra efforts beyond your classes. Maybe 1 subject or maybe 1 subject from each group, that will come to 2 subjects. In those subjects, you should go just beyond exams. Your focus should not be just on exam. For example, income tax is your subject. Just give an example. What you should do, once the class is done on the income tax, you should go and read the bare act, income tax act. You should read something more on the news. Whenever news comes about income tax, read about it. And then you watch newspaper. News is fine, Google it. There are a lot of case studies available with respect to income tax. And when I say case studies, don't just focus only on the decision. No, read the detailed process. Why the case was filed, what was the argument in both sides, and how the decision is made, and what is the implications of it. So 1 subject, maybe 2 subjects, go beyond books, and those subjects you should be choosing even after the examination, so that practically that will help you even after the exam. For example, till today, accounts and financial management is my area of expertise. So I always focused on that. I got marks in those subjects. Till today, I'm teaching those subjects. I'm making use of it in practical life. I invest in stock market, financial management. So hope you understand what I'm telling. Choose 1 or 2 subjects which will go beyond your books, beyond the classes, beyond academics. Those things which will help you get good marks. At the same time, once you pass exam, you will have good strength on those subjects where you can demand good work, good opportunities. That will not come in one day. You have to prepare every day, not every subject. So while choosing the subjects, be careful. You should be living with that subject throughout your life. So pick your subjects carefully. Some people may change their life partner so easily, but the career cannot be changed so easily. Pick your career, pick your subjects very, very carefully. So today, whether you read my subject or not is secondary. Make a decision which subject I am going to read for rest of my life. Pick it and work on that. I hope the point is clear. Any question you want to ask about this strategy? Because I believe this is the major area where many students go wrong. So if you have any doubts in this case, please ask. No doubts? Can you confirm? Okay, very good. And I encourage you to ask as many doubts as possible, because I believe the job of a faculty is not to pass on my knowledge, is to encourage you to create interest in the subject from your side. So the more doubts you ask, the more happy I am. And when you ask doubts, you know how much you know. So asking doubts is always encouraged. There is nothing called a silly doubt or a bad doubt. Any questions from your side, is always welcome. So, some questions I'd like to read from Archana. For people writing in November, is there enough time for outside the syllabus reading? Yes, you will definitely have. For people writing in November, we are end of June, July, August, September, October. 4 months is there. No doubt it is jam packed. But what do? Pick one subject. You can't pick two subjects. Every day, 1 hour, you have to spend on those subjects. Maybe 45 minutes. Spend meaning you should read either in academics or in practical life or something on Google or something related to that subject. You should spend your effort every day. 45 minutes a day on one single subject can make a lot of difference. For 4 months, definitely it's going to make a difference. But remember, don't read only that. That should be your extra focus. You have to read everything else, and 45 minutes should be your extra focus on one single subject. It's definitely possible, even those people who are writing in November. Okay. I hope I made that point clear. Yes, one subject, two subjects you cannot pick for writing in November, too short of time. But if exams happens in July, August, July, August, next exam will not happen in November. It will have to happen in December for sure. Maybe December 1st or 2nd week. So you get some extra time. So when you get extra time, where to focus? If you know your subject, you can focus on that. That's one of the people who don't have an idea I'm seeing now. When you get extra time, you don't know what to do. I have more time, what to do? If you have your subjects, you can always focus on that. Anywhere there, think about the subject. You are traveling in the bus, think about that subject. Just think, don't read, just think about those subjects. What would have happened? What would be the concept? What is the reason? So you just think about it. Your brain is more capable of doing what do you think you are capable of. Keep spending the work. You will be able to get good marks in those subjects. So pick one subject if you're writing a number and keep thinking about it. 45 minutes a day on one single subject with the regular preparation going on. Is that clear? Can we move further? Okay, I'll move further then. Good. This is one more thing I see. I observe in classes, everybody is happy. I can see a lot of smiling face now also. But somehow in exam, the role will get reversed. I don't know how. In class, when a faculty do a question, everything simple, smooth, straightforward, nothing complicated. In the examination, oh, this question is coming. Which concept is this? Which chapter is this? Which subject is this? What is happening in exam? This is one common area where I've seen lot of students struggle. In class, they do it very easily. In the exam, they struggle. I would like to spend 1 minute on this. Why is that? Because of the structure around which it is developed. What is that structure? You see, in the class, when I start a topic, I always say, okay, today let us talk about cost of capital. Today let us do a chapter on dividends. So before even starting, you know what concept it is, what chapter it is. You know it. Even when you read at home, you open the book, you go through index, or today, I read this chapter. In law, today I'll read about incorporation of companies. Today I'll read about prospectus. You know the concept beforehand. But in exam, they will give you the question paper. There is no background. They have not told you this question is from this concept. If you want, do this. Else, go to next question. No such instruction, no such background, no such base. It will complete come as a shocker. It will complete come as a bouncer. It will complete come as a surprise, randomly, without any base. That is why students fail in exam. And how you can avoid? By writing more number of exams. By writing more number of exams, self exam also sufficient. You sit in a place, write it for 3 hours, good enough practice for exams, irrespective of how you write, where you write, how is your performance in mock exams. Writing exams will give you good practice. Okay. So, CA students, you need to carry this attitude till you pass the exams. The reason I am telling is this: keep these 3 sentences in mind. Heated gold is called as ornament. Beaten copper is called as wire. Compressed carbon is called as diamond. What is heated, beaten, and compressed carbon is called as chartered accountant. Is called as chartered. Okay. So till you pass the examination, keep these 3 sentences in mind. In fact, CA levels are also 3 levels: foundation, intermediate, and final level. It is not going to be easy, but it is definitely going to be worth it. Okay. So when you pray to God, don't pray that you should have the exams easier. Don't pray that things should be simple for you. Always pray that you will get enough strength to face any kind of challenges. Okay. Now, I hope that point is very clear. Uh, now, about the process, what we need to understand. In the class, I'll tell you what is the syllabus. I'm telling about financial management. I will tell you the theory, concepts behind it, practical application of it. Then we will do problems. I will do problems. I will give you time to write problems now, and I have enough practice problem to try after the class. Homework problems are also there. Then revision. This is very, very important. Apart from what we do in the class, it is essential that you revise about 15 minutes a day and a revision before exams, 2 months before exams, and one more revision in last week or something. So about 3 revisions is what I would recommend. 3 hours, you can remember like that. One revision after the class, one revision about 2 months before exam, and one more revision about 1 week or 10 days before exams. So the second revision will have about, when you do 6 days per subject like that, and revision 3 will be about 1 day per subject like that. So 3 revisions are must for you to have confidence. And all the summary charts, formulas are already built in. At the end of every chapter, I have given the summary charts, like 1 chart, 2 charts per chapter. You can quickly go through it for your revision purpose. Don't read it now. Before revision, that will be useful. Now coming to classes, don't just hear, listen, focus. So what you learn 90% in class makes lot of difference. Of course, important you read after the class, but let me tell you, I have seen many students who, just by attending the class sincerely, listening to the class with a lot of focus, with attention, they have cleared the exams. Especially practical subjects like accounts, financial management. What you do in class matters most. Don't just hear. It's not the sound just coming, it's the knowledge coming. So it's not just sound you're hearing, it is your understanding. Okay. So don't just hear, listen. Don't just write, understand. And don't just learn, also apply. So what I would say is, instead of solving 10 problems of same kind, solve one problem in 10 different ways. One problem, same problem, I can solve like this, I can solve like this, I can solve like this. Solve it in as many ways as possible, so that everything around it you will get to know about it. Fine. Good. Okay. Now I don't have we don't have good method to have a conversation like we do in class, but technology will always help us in some kind of background. Okay, so now one second. Okay, hope you can see this PPT background. What I want you to do, you can go to any internet, Google, Chrome, or any browser, and just type in this. I go to Vivox app. You can see here vevox.app. That's all, nothing else. Go to the web browser. You can go to internet. You can go to Google Chrome. In your mobile also you can go, no problem. The separate application, no application. Just go to the browser and type Vivox app. Vevox.app. They will ask you for an ID. Put this ID 166 315 592. You should be able to see this question. Can you please confirm if you are getting this question? Are you able to do it, my dear friends? I'll also do along with you. Let's see if it can happen. Vivox. Okay. You should get this question. Are you from mathematical background? Is that question there still not coming? 166 315 592. Okay, this is different thing. Just one second. Okay, can you please try this ID 180160454? 180160454. Okay, I think people are able to get it now. Okay, Archana, Arti, Chaitanya, I think all of you are getting. Okay, I'll wait for about 5 more seconds. Please try to use it. I will be doing lot of these things where, especially this point, where you will have the ability to select the option and we'll play around it. I'll show you the results also. About 17 people have written. I've given some. There, good. I'll just wait for 5 more seconds. Anybody not able to get still? Okay. Let us look at the, okay, some of as response is still coming, so I'll wait for 5 more seconds. Are you from mathematical background? Around 20 people. Okay, this is the result. I'll show it to you. So 60% said yes, 40% said no. This is also first time for me to try these things. I hope you also find it new and interesting. Okay. So for those who said 40% are not from mathematical background, my question to you is very simple. I hope you have done your 10th standard, SSLC. From the first standard to 10th standard, I'm sure you had mathematics. Maybe 11th, 12th PUC you did not have, but 10 years mathematics you had. So each and every one of you is from mathematical background, and you don't require any high level of mathematics for understanding financial management, and whatever the basics required I'll do from the very foundation level. We will not go to foundation level, but whatever the concept required, basic required, I'll be doing it for you. So don't worry, even if you're not done mathematics in your in your PU or 11th too. But whatever you have done till 10th is sufficient, and that also very basic is sufficient. That also will revise it for you. Don't have any confusion about financial. Okay, so can you see the next question? 1 second. Go to the same thing, not this ID. Just 1 second. One second. Okay. Can you see this question now? Okay, I think I'm getting responses. Good. So try to answer this. Which is the primary subject to start a business? A company law, income tax law, GST law, accounts, financial management, or cost management. Some people say company law because you want to start a business, get the company first. Some people say income tax law because income tax is most important. Some people say GST, get GST registration. Some people say first pass journal entry, accounts important. Some people say financial management. Some people say cost management, which is the primary subject which is required to do a business. Getting some response. So let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, I got the answer. I think many of you said financial management, and that is interesting. Okay, your answer is right. It's all about financial management. And okay, so it's all about financial management. That is, most of you are right. The answer is right. The foundation of any subject which you are going to do is financial management. Again, I keep telling this. This again, I use it only as a joke, only to explain the concept. Please don't take me for any personal comments. I'm not having any personal issues here. I only use it for illustration purpose. So my comments I've put in my disclaimer. Hope I've made things clear. So You have various law, company law, income tax law, GST law. So which is the most important law to start a business is your father-in-law. I meant you need business, you need money, you need source of finance. You need the source of finance. That is the primary thing. Like uh, here we decide which business to start. What should be the selling price of it? Where should you start the business? How many employees to have? How many units to produce? Where to market the product? Whether to continue business or shut down business. So all these business decisions are taken in financial management. So financial management is all about the decision making. Like to say, only once you have decided which CA, whether to do CA course or not, then you think about which textbook to buy. Whether to do CA course or not is financial management. Which textbook to buy is cost management. The costing is all about short-term decision making. Financial management is all about long-term decision making. That is the foundation level of it. And you have 8 subjects, right? Each and every subject you have has some kind of act, some kind of legal statute. Accounts has accounting standard, company has company law, taxation has income tax act, auditing has auditing standards. The subject which does not have any rules and regulations is financial management, because financial management even today is still about the concepts, basics, and the common sense interpretations. So financial management is the foundation level of any business, because that is the one which is giving you the way whether to do a business or not. Now, even after passing the exams, even if you don't pass the exams, you may do your own job, or I mean your own self-employment, or you can do a job, or you can be in practice, or you don't pass exams, or you become a farmer, or you be in employment. Whatever work you do, you have to manage finance. Now we learn more about corporate finance, but concepts are equally applicable to personal finance. So the concepts what you learn here are not only going to be useful in financial management in corporate world, but also going to help you in your individual life if you take these things more seriously. So this subject is important, is interesting and useful for your career, that is professional life, as well as for your personal. So financial management is the foundation, and only if you do a business, then all these other subjects have some kind of relevance. So let's go to the next question. Which of these topics you are comfortable within the basics of finance? About time value of money, probability concept, average, standard deviation. I think here you can select more than one choice also. Uh, is the question, I think you are able to get it now? Yes, good. Answer it. You can select more than one choice. Which of these you are comfortable in the basics of finance? Okay. You need not vote in the chat. You can vote in the this part. You can go to this app, vivox.app, and you can vote. Anybody, you can do it. Okay, I think I got the answers. Let's go and see the results. Okay, so 73.68. So most people said time value of money is fine. Average is also fine. This probability is an issue. Standard deviation is an issue, and correlation regression is an issue. But these don't come much. What is important is time value of money. I will address it. I just wanted to get the sense of it. Now, before we go into the syllabus, before we talk about the topics what you are in the what you have got in the syllabus, I would like to know some of your interpretation part of it. So, which of these companies is better from the profitability point of view? Take your time, try to answer. Take your time, don't be in a hurry to answer. Which is better? Sale of 10 crores and profit of 2 crores. Sales of 20 crores, profit of 3 crores. Sales of 50 crores, profit of 5 crores. Sales of 1 crore and profit of 0.5 crores. Try to answer it. Let's see. Do it slowly. Don't be in a hurry to select. Purnima, Jivita, please try to answer it in the app. Don't do it here. You can just go to this app, vivox.app. No, not really app. You can just go to the website, vivox, V-E-V-O-X dot app. Put that ID. You will be able to see this question and vote it there. Everybody, please make sure you go to that website in your browser, vivox.app, and then select which option, whichever you think is right. Okay, can wait for 1 more minute. Okay, let us see the answer. So again, 73%, 74% of the people said yes. Sale of 1 crore with profit of 0.5 crore. This is the better one. Answer will come to it later. Most of you are right. The reason why I asked this question is because what is most important is, or when you're doing analysis, you should consider various aspects. This chapter is called as ratio analysis. I'm just trying to give you a teaser. I'm just going to give you an idea about the chapter you have in your financial management. The first chapter is basics. The second chapter, what you have is financial ratio analysis and planning. So these are the kind of uh, analysis that we need to do. We need to understand about ratio analysis. Okay, let's look at one more question. Which of these sources finance will have a higher expectations? Loan from bank, savings, or loan from friends? Which will have a higher expectations? Okay, can I answer it now? When you take a loan from bank, or when you use your own money, or you take from loan, which of these will have a higher expectations when you invest in business? Okay, again 70%, 71% of the people said loan from bank will have a higher expectation, saving will have less. Loan from friends don't have any expectation. Oh, very nice. So if we take a loan from friends, no idea to repay money. Very nice idea. Anyway, this chapter or this topic, we have one concept called as cost of capital. This is the chapter which we need to understand, which will talk about when you use a money for investing in business, what is the cost of it? That is this answer we'll discuss later. One more question. If you construct a house, what will be ideal source of finance? You take 50% loan, 50% savings, 100% savings, 100% loan. Which do you think is a better source of finance? Try to answer it. Okay, let's look at the answer. The polling results. Okay, so many people told 50-50. So you take 50% loan and 50% your savings. Only few people 100% loan, 100% savings. Okay, this is also a crucial point to discuss. There's a chapter called as capital structure theories. Capital structure theories. So that will tell you how much loan to take, how much equity to use, what should be the mixture of it, how much is outsider funds, how much is own funds, what is the mixture of it. Those things are dealt by this chapter, capital structure. Now, which is a better form of investment? Purchasing a land and construct a house, purchasing fully furnished house, or purchase an apartment, or don't purchase the house, live in rented premises. Try to answer, let's see. Okay, let us see the results. Okay, purchasing land and constructing a house is better. So many people are telling that. 59% of the people are telling that. Okay, good. This again answer, we don't have any single answer, but this is one of the chapter you have investment decisions, or it's also called as capital budgeting. When you take about long-term decision making about investments, you will have various choices like this. Even for business house, which machinery to purchase, where to open the branch, which product to choose, those kind of things. Long-term decision making are called as investment decisions, also called as capital budgeting, is one of your chapter. Along with that, you have one more chapter linked with this, that is capital budgeting with risk. Capital budgeting or investment decisions under risk and uncertainty. There is also one more chapter you have in your syllabus. Okay, let's look at this question. Which sector requires higher money for day-to-day management operations? Try to answer it. Okay, let's see the results. Okay, so 45% said restaurants. Okay, now this uh, concept you have in your syllabus, that is called as working capital management. For day-to-day operations, which company requires how much of money, how to source that money, what is the cost of it, what are the decisions associated with working capital management, how much money to be keep in a bank, how many days should you give it as a credit to customer, how many days you get as a credit from your supplier, how do you rotate the source of money, how do you rotate the flow of money. Working capital management is one of the chapters what you have. One more question. I'll just this. Okay. One more question and then we will move further. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just type that question. Okay. Try to answer this question. Which company pays more dividends in your opinion? Is it Reliance or Infosys? Which company pays more dividend? Okay, let's see the results. Okay, many of you said actually Reliance, but the answer is Infosys. So that is just to tell you how a dividend should be managed. So you see, among Reliance and Infosys, Infosys pays more dividend than Reliance. Many people don't know. You think Reliance pays dividend? No, Infosys pays more dividend. But what Infosys do is only software business. They, whatever the profit they get from software business, they give it to shareholders. They don't keep anything. But what Reliance does, whatever the money generated, they will give only little to shareholders, but mostly they will reinvest in business and make new business. That's why you see Reliance is there everywhere. Reliance Industries, Reliance Petroleum, Reliance Communications, Reliance Geo, Reliance Smart, Reliance Footwear, Reliance Digital Prints, Reliance Fresh. Reliance are everywhere. Where do you get the money? From one business, whatever the profit they get, they don't repay it to shareholder. Instead, they will reinvest in new business. That's how Reliance Jio got so much of funding from the Reliance Group. Okay, so this you can't say that now Infosys is bad because they are paying dividend. So whether paying dividend is good or not, that is one more chapter you have. So what are your uh, questions related to the syllabus is these chapters. So the chapters are first one is basics like meaning of financial management, objective of financial management, and so on. Second chapter is purely theory chapter, types of financing. Third chapter, financial planning and ratio analysis. We discussed the basic. Cost of capital, what is the expectation of an investor? Financing decision, like capital structure, leverages, investment decisions under risk and uncertainty, dividend decisions, working capital management. So these are the various topics you have in financial management. You have 100 marks paper, 60 marks financial management, and 40 marks is your uh, economics for finance. I'll be handling financial management, 60 marks. These are the 10 chapters. So as compared to your costing or any other subject, this has got very few chapters, good concepts and useful concepts for your examination as well as for your future level. Okay, so I'll discuss one question paper pattern. I'll go to one question paper and show it to you how the pattern will look like. You can make a note of it once I show the question paper to you. Can you please confirm? Can you see the question paper? Please confirm. Can you see the question paper? Okay, good. Don't worry about the numbers and all. Let's just focus on the basic concepts, how the format will look like. So you see, attempt any 4 questions of the remaining 5 questions. question 1 is compulsory. So in question 1, how many marks you have? Let me just quickly run through it just to get the feel of it. So you have 4 into 5, 4 questions are there, into 5, 20 mark. So 20 mark is what the first question is all about. Then second question you are having for answers, you forget about it, for 10 marks. Okay. So what you have in your syllabus is 20 marks compulsory question, then 10, 10, 10, 10. How much? 40 plus 20, 60 marks. But they will not give you 4 questions, they will give you 5 questions so that you can choose one choice. So 20 marks compulsory question, then 10, 10, 10, 10. 4 out of any 5 questions of 10 marks each. The 10 mark can comprise of 6 mark, 4 mark, 8 mark, 2 mark, 5 mark, 5 mark, or 10 mark itself, any permutations, combinations. So 20 mark compulsory questions where 5 marks will be 4 questions are asked. Okay, let me write it for you so that you will get the idea. Question paper pattern, you can also note it down. Question 1 compulsory, 20 marks, which is 4 into 5, 4 questions of 5 marks each. Then question 2 to question 3, question 4, question 5, question 6. So you have to choose 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. So this is 20 marks, 4 out of 5. So 10 marks each, that is 40 mark. That's how 60 mark is made up of. And economics of finance is a separate pattern that will not be mixed with financial management. Pure 60 marks financial management, pure 40 marks economics for finance. It will not be mixed. The pattern I showed to you. So question 1 to question 6, all are financial management questions. Then remaining you will have 40 marks economics for finance. That will be handled separately. So this is the question paper pattern for the your paper 8 financial management related aspect. 60 marks, 20 marks compulsory, 40 marks will be 10, 10, 10, 10. In that 10 also anything combinations will be there, and you will have one choice. You will choose 4 questions out of 5 questions of 10 marks each. 20 plus 40, that comes to 60. Remaining 40 marks economics of finance is asked separately. It will not be mixed with financial management. Both are kept separate. Very, very clear. That's a good point. Otherwise, they would have mixed the points. Okay. Chapter wise distribution. It is there in your material also. Like how many marks have come in the last 4 attempts so far. Scope like 4 marks to 2 marks. Types of financing around 4 marks. Financial analysis around 5 marks. Cost of capital, biggest chapter. See, either cost of capital or capital structure, 10 marks. You see that these 3 together will around 25 marks. You see, always around 25 marks. These 3 chapters put together. And investment decisions around 15 marks will come. These 2 around 20 marks, I would say. Then dividend decision is 5 marks. Working capital management is 10 marks. Economics of finance also have given. So the point is here, don't try to do any selective reading. After all, 10 chapters, small chapters, very few formulas, few concepts. Unlike costing or your income tax, company law, we don't have too many concepts here. And it does not change. It's a financial management. No amendments as such. New concepts are added, but no new amendment as such. Therefore, 10 chapter, easy chapter, we should not take any chance. We should not leave it for choice in this 60 marks at least. This paper, economics of finance, also one of the easiest part, theory part topic. So you should be able to score easy marks, and this should help you score well in your aggregates. This should be there. This distribution of chapters should be there in your material also. During initial pages, you can search for it. Okay. So yes. Now these are the basics I want to tell you about financial management. Uh, we'll take a small break before we go to the financial management concepts and so on. So this is the foundation part. Before we take a break, if you have any questions in what we discussed so far, please ask. Please ask. Then we will take a break and then we go for the individual chapter one by one. This is the foundation, just the basic overall discussion. Any questions so far? Okay, no questions. Very good. So 8 o'clock now. We'll take a break of 10 minutes and 8:15 we'll meet. Okay, 10 minutes. 8 o'clock now. Take a break of 10 minutes. Sorry, 8:10. 10 minutes only. 8:10 we'll meet. 8 o'clock, 10 minutes. 8:10 we'll meet and we'll start with the first chapter. Take a break of 10 minutes. 8:10. Okay, let us move on now. We have discussed what is the structure of the question paper, what is the basic requirement of financial management, and how do you manage the aggregate in CA examination by focusing on one subject, things like that we have discussed. Now we will straight away going to the subject called as financial. Okay, what are the key areas that you will find in financial management? First, I told you decision making. Financial management is all about making correct decisions. Whenever you compute a formula, a calculation, a table, whatever the number, it should always be capable of being used in some places. If you are not able to use it, then the purpose of understanding financial management itself is not served. So when you calculate something, cost of capital 35%, 25%. So when you get a number is not sufficient. You should tell, oh, cost of capital means when you use that in business, that much return should be generated. Current ratio is so much, working capital is so much. A computation is not sufficient. That should always help you to make a better decisions. That is first point. And to make a decision, how do you make decision? You don't do decision based on your feelings. You will not close your eyes in keeping a ponky and select one decision. You can't do that. You need to analyze. What do you mean by analysis? You go for cost benefit analysis. If I start a project, what is its cost? What is the benefit? On a net basis, will cost be more or benefit be more? Or if I have 3-4 choices, where is the maximum benefit that should be selected? That is called as the cost benefit analysis. Again, these are all the structure you need to keep it in mind while understanding financial management. And most important thing is time value of money. Unfortunately, in your syllabus you had time value of money, but they have taken it out. In my opinion, time value of money is the foundation of financial management. Maybe because you had this in your IPC, in your intermediate, so in your foundation mathematics statistics, there is one called as business mathematics of finance is there, simple interest, compound interest, and annuities. Maybe there this chapter was there, that's why they have removed it, but we will not ignore it because this is the foundation of financial management. So time value of money is required. Then the concept of average, because when many numbers are there, we need one number to represent. In your 10th standard, you might have 6 subjects, but when they tell you how much is your score in 10th, you will tell 85%, 45%, 75%. How did you did that? You took all 6 subjects, then you took an average. So that one number will represent 6 numbers. That representative number is called as average. So average is one more concept required, and ultimately about interpretation. As I told you, once you get a number, just getting a decision, getting a number is not sufficient. You should be able to interpret. Okay, I have computed debtors turnover ratio. Which is the better turnover ratio? Dividend, is it good for the company? How much dividend to be paid? What are its consequences? So you should be able to make decision by interpreting the number you calculate. Okay, let's come to the world of financial management now. What is basically a financial management? Keep this one simple point in mind before we discuss further. There is one word called as currency, then one word called as money, and then one word called as financial management. Currency means you know what you have as cash. Money means cash also, bank balance also, credit card also, and so on. Finance means not only your money, outsiders' money, that is own money, borrowed money, investment in shares, etc. So currency is one level, money is larger than that, and finance is much larger than that. So finance is all about The concept of currency, concept of money, much more beyond that. And what is management? Management, management means managing. Means what? When you don't have, when there is a shortage, how do you manage it? And when you have surplus, how do you manage it? Both are managements only. So if you don't have money, but you want to reach home, how do you manage it? You have too much of money, how do you manage it? So two aspects: when you have a shortage, when you have a surplus. That shortage surplus management is called as financial management. To give a simple example, you would have again heard this in a lot of WhatsApp jokes and all, but still I would like to discuss with you just to give you the context, nothing beyond that. A person had 500 rupees in his pocket. The person had 500 rupees in his pocket. He went to five-star hotel and ate for bills worth 10,000 rupees. With 500 rupees pocket in his pocket, he went to five-star hotel, had good food, and bill came to 10,000 rupees. And he has to make a payment of 10,000. What this person told? I don't have money. He said, then fine, we'll have to hand over you to the police. Person said, by all means, no problem. So person was taken to police custody. While going, what the person said, did he had 500 rupees in his pocket? He took it out and gave it to the police constable, and he let him free, and he is out. So this is called as financial management. Again, only example, please don't take me personally. The point I'm trying to tell you is, when you don't have but you know how to use it. So the financial management is all about the efficient use of important economic resource, namely capital funds. And financial management, we don't talk about legal aspects. For that you have law subject, ethical subject, and so on. Financial management is purely about numbers and interpretation. Legal aspects we don't cover. In my example, it is illegal. You can't plan like that. But that is also part of financial management, that you have money, how do you make use of it? Hope you got an idea. But anyway, uh, you also manage lot of finance. You get pocket money from your parents. How do you make use of it? Where do you use it? And when you plan not only your money, you will also have, oh, this day, this person's birthday, he will give so much of treat. This person is cash rich party, I want to have his friendship. You will have all these kind of thoughts, right? These are all principles of financial management. We can talk many things, but ultimately it only talks about consideration of the acquisition and financing of short term, long term credits. Different people have given definitions, and in simple definition, it is about procurement of funds and their effective utilization in the business. So where do you get the money from? That is where you get the money from and where you invest. So where from and where to. That's all about management. Getting the money and investing in the business. Getting the money, that is source of finance, procurement of funds, and investing in the money means application of funds, various investment areas. This is what I was telling you. Of course, it's important from business. To give an example, a business is making profits. Okay, a business is making profits. Once you make a profit, what do you do with that? You can say, I will invest in this business. I will keep it in fixed deposits. I will give it as bonus to my employees. I will purchase new machineries. Personal finance also. Once you start earning, you have money as salary. What do? I'll spend on entertainment, I'll spend on food, I'll spend on my investments, equity shares, investment in stock market, or I'll keep it in fixed deposit, or I will just enjoy it, party it. I'll take money, I'll borrow money and construct a house. I'll save money and construct a house. So various kinds of possibilities are there. Managing around these various possibilities, where you get the money and how it is being used, that is financial management. And when do you get the money? It will have a cost, and when you invest, it will have a return. Cost benefit analysis. How much cost I'll be paying, how much benefit I'll be getting. That management will keep varying. Like situations now, corona is there, business are not happening, you have to incur loss. Can I close the business? Definitely not. How do I manage the source of finance? You can request the banks. I'm not in a position to repay, so please give me some more time. I will postpone my installments. Of course, I pay interest, but I postpone my installments. And during this period, you can say to your customers, I will give you credit. You please buy the goods, you pay me after 2 months. So on one hand, you tell your banker supplier, I'll pay later, and you're telling your customer, you pay me later. So cash is not at all involved. Goods will come from supplier and you give it to your customer. Customer will take time to make payment. Until then, you don't make a payment to your supplier. So transactions are happening, cash is not coming, but everybody is involved. So like this, many aspects to be considered. So ultimately, financial management is all about managing the procurement of funds and its effective utilization in the business. If I apply it in your life as a student, a CA student, what is your management is all about? Where do you get the knowledge and how do you make use of it? You get the knowledge from books, you get the knowledge from attending classes, you get the knowledge from going through newspapers. That is source of knowledge. And application of knowledge, where do you use it? One, you write in exams, you revise, you write on exams on your own. Then after that, you will use it to give suggestion to your clients, to manage your business, to implement the process as told by your manager, and so on. So hope you got the overall point about procurement of funds and utilization of funds. Moving further, functions of financial management, same two functions only. Where the money is obtained from, this is about the source, and application, where to invest, that is where the money is coming from and where the money is invested to. A little bit of philosophy. I know people don't like philosophy, but I would like to tell. Now, where and all you use money in your life, you use money on classes, you use money for entertainment, you use money on food, you use money on clothing, right? And rental, so on. Remember, all of these things are given by your parents or well-wisher or somebody else. Now, none of you are paying on your own. All of these things are given by somebody else. So somebody else's money, you are using it for your benefit. You have a cost to fulfill. You have an objective to fulfill. You have a responsibility to fulfill. Keep it in mind. When you waste your time, when you spend time too much with your friends on mobile phone, internet, remember, all these are financed, sourced, not by your money, but somebody else's money. It may be your parents, they are still somebody. They are doing it for you, but still you are different, they are different. You should treat like I have taken loan from them. Use the money judiciously. Make maximum out of it when you spend every rupee. Make it count. When you're attending the online classes, make sure you are attentive. We can't supervise you. Unlike in class, we can't supervise you. So entire responsibility is on you, my dear friends. You should make sure I'm using somebody else's money, not just somebody else's money, resources, the laptop what you're watching, the internet which is being used, everything is given by somebody. Okay, be careful. You're using somebody else's money, somebody else's resources. Be responsible, be judicious when you're spending money. if you inculcate this habit of using somebody else's money with utmost attention and carefulness, when you come to corporate world, if you are a financial manager of a company, CEO of a company, CFO of a company, you will adopt similar philosophy, similar pattern. Because in financial management, what do? If you're a CFO of a company, you don't invest your money and you don't take away it to your home directly. You use shareholders money, you use company money, invest in business. You are just a mediator, taking money and using it money. So if you inculcate this financial philosophy into you, that I must be responsible for every rupee that I receive, today itself you will be a successful financial manager. Okay, so when you develop that kind of reputation that you are a successful person, that you are a capable person, and you are a responsible person, then when you said I want money, people will be ready to give you money. It's always two-edged sword. Just getting the money is not sufficient, you should know how to use it. And just using the money is not sufficient, you should be able to source it in personal life as well as corporate. Okay, hope you got the basics point. Any questions so far you want to ask? Because now after this step we'll go further into what are the different source of funds and what are the different application of funds. We are going for that. Any questions you want to ask here, you please ask. I'll wait for 1 minute. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Hope you're able to follow what we are doing, because as I told you, this subject is not there to fulfill some legal obligations. The more you understand in your personal vicinity, in your personal capacity, the subject will be more useful to you. Of course it's important for exams, but the more concepts you involve in your individual life, this subject makes more sense. I will give practical examples also. We'll go to websites, we'll see company balance sheets, we look at their pattern, we look at their loan, balance sheet, P&L account, sales, profits, everything. We will do as much practical applications as possible. But what you have to do, listen to it carefully, make sure your resource, time, money, energy is completely utilized in terms of procurement of funds and application of funds. Money, different people might have different source, but you are coming to class. But as far as time is concerned, everybody has same time, 24 hours a day. Everybody has same time. So the source is same for everybody. Application is what matters in terms of time. Okay, anyway, let's go further. Procurement of funds. Procurement of funds, broadly we have one is called as equity shares, debentures, loan from banks, venture capital, and so on. Okay, now first let me talk about the concept of, or the difference between, or do one thing. I hope you made a note, my dear friends, because I know I've given you the notes, but I want you to write it down little bit, bullet points. I know that I have given you material, it has all the details. For even if you want even more explanation, you can use study material, that is also fine. Okay, one more question before you write it down. People ask me this, so which textbook to refer? I don't recommend any textbooks. You have a material, enough number of questions are there, every class I make you write problems in class, I'll give you homework problem, and even beyond that there are practice problems. After all these things, if you want more explanation, then you can use study material. only for extra thing. And towards the exam, you can go through the previous year suggested answers. Sufficient. Class material, study material only if you want explanation, and previous year question papers. This much is sufficient, more than sufficient. Don't buy any textbook. Don't spend too much of time in financial management. Easy concept, less concepts. Keep your base limited so that other chapters, other subjects you can focus more. Like income tax, you need a textbook. You need more practice, more technical. Financial management, class material, practice, and then study material for explanation, more explanation if you want, and previous year question paper. This much is sufficient. Okay, so please give the heading financial functions of financial management. Then you write procurement of funds, application of funds. Procurement of funds, you simply write source, and application of funds means it is investments. Just write these bullet points. We don't want to write too much because theory is there in your material. Theory also comes in exam. So just write little bit so that you are in a track when you are in the class. Instead of just listening to it continuously, you can write down little bit. Hope it is done. Now let's go to procurement of funds. Procurement means source. So let's talk about the source of finance. Various sources are there. We'll take one by one, but broadly I will compare, let's say, equity shares with debentures or debt, or it's also called as loan. Or this equity shares means using own money, and debt means using outsiders' money. Let us discuss on various aspects like related to the cost or obligation to repay. Then we can think about the voting power dilution. We talk about risk. We talk about and tax benefits. Maybe these broad aspects we will consider, or maybe security. Okay. Now, with respect to obligation to repay, you see in equity shares, own money, you when use your own money in a business, you don't have to repay at any point in time. Dividends are discretionary, you don't have to pay dividend. So there is no obligation in case of equity shares. But in case of debt, you have to pay interest. If you take loan from bank, you have to pay installments. So there are a lot of obligations will be there. Even if you don't make profits, you still have to make the payment. Otherwise, the cost will keep on increasing. So in that sense, equity share is more safer. Going through debt is more riskier. Now, voting power dilution. When you issue shares, more number of shareholders comes, more number of shareholders means they are the owners. Shareholders are the ultimate owners. They get the voting power. When voting power dilutes, your day-to-day management may be affected. For example, you are doing a business which you invested worth 10 lakhs and you wanted some more money as a additional finance. You asked your friend, I want more money, can you invest? He said, okay, I'll invest. Which kind of form of investment would you like? Would you like in the form of a loan, or would you like in the form of equity shares? You see, if it is a loan, you have to pay interest regularly. If he becomes a partner, then he is the partner in the business, which means before you make a decision, you should take his approval. He's also a partner in your business, but you don't have to pay interest to him. So interest obligation is not there, but voting power gets diluted. So in equity shares ownership, there is dilution in control or in voting power, but in debt there is no dilution. I would just like to give one of the examples here. There is one concept called as venture capitalist. I'll discuss it in some time from now in little detail. Now these people, what they do, they give money and they become owners and they control so much. There's one news, I don't know true or not. You know, a CD event, the Cafe Coffee Day owner Siddharth did suicide, died. Some people say it is attributable to the pressure from venture capitalists because they are the owners, so he could not make any decision unless they approve it, and they were involving in so many activities, so the freedom gets curtailed. You will not be able to do business on your own. I mean, I don't know the truth, but I'm just giving you an example. When you take loan from others, it's only loan, you pay interest, they cannot ask any question. But if they become partners, if they become shareholders, then you are more answerable. Not only answerable, when you take a decision, you should take their approval. You know, as in company law and all, various ordinary resolutions, general resolutions, special resolutions are required. Even otherwise, the moment they become shareholders, they become partners, the control gets diluted, the freedom will be taken away. Now, risk point of view, equity shares wise, there is less risk because you're using your own money, but debt wise, you have more money. So when you take more debt, that is are always having more risk. For example, to give you an idea, aviation companies, SpiceJet, Indigo, various aviation companies have lot of debt, loan. In general, aviation companies in general have lot of debt, interest obligation. So what happens if the business is dull, like now? Aeroplane companies are not in their fullest capacity. They have to close down their business or they have to close the operations. Their obligations becomes more. They have to pay sorry. They have to pay more interest. Their cost is high, profitability comes down. That is why Kingfisher has to close down. They could not manage their expectations. Reliance, you see, Mukesh Ambani made a statement last year, I will make my company debt free by March 21. We are in June 20. The Reliance have reached the debt free situation. He did various things. He sold off some shares. He has gone for right shares issue. Various aspects he followed, but his target was to make Reliance debt free. He did it. Now, when this debt is so bad, why people takes money? Different aspect. I just told you, no dilution, fixed interest payment. So both will have advantages and disadvantages, but definitely equity shares are less riskier as far as the cost, the obligation is concerned. Now, tax benefit, equity shares you pay dividend. Is dividend allowed for tax purposes? No, dividend is not an expense. It's a distribution of profits. It's an appropriation of profit. So no tax benefit. Whereas debt, You pay interest. Interest is considered as an expense. So that is allowed for tax purpose as expense. So tax liability will come down. So there is tax benefit. Or you can say there was no tax benefit on dividends and there is tax benefit on interest expense. There is tax benefit on interest expense. Now security, when you issue shares, you don't have to issue any security to them. So usually on equity share, no security. But debt, when you take loan, they ask for hypothecation pledge. So there is security required. There are unsecured loans also, but the chance of getting unsecured loans are very, very less. Mostly it will be with security only. So this is a broad comparison. Please note it down. If you have any question, please ask. I'll give you 2 minutes. Please write it down. Source of finance, comparison. Broadly, equity shares and debt. There are many sources. This broad comparison between equity shares and debt. Okay, is it done? Shall we go further? Any questions on this? Okay, good. Let's go further. Okay, various types of finance, various sources. So one, broadly we discussed equity, or I'll say own money. In own money also, there are two types. One, we say share capital, and the other we say retained earnings. Share capital comes actually initially when you start a business, you raise money by issuing shares, or there is one type called as right issue. That is when you require further money, issue fresh issue and raise money. That is either you have a initial share capital or you have a subsequent share capital in the form of right shares. But once the business starts running, once you run the business, you make profits. That profits can be reused in the business. That reusing the business is retained earnings. Now in the share capital also you have two types. One is equity share capital, other is preference share capital. Equity share capital, you means they are the owners. Preference share capital means they are the owners, but they get the preference. In what? Preference in terms of dividends and preference in terms of repayment of share capital. When the company is getting closed down, preference shareholders get the share capital first, then equity shareholder. Okay. Then let's come to outsiders money. Outsiders money, we also call it as debt. Now, broad difference between own money, outsiders money, I told you. Now, outsiders money, various sources we have are, one, you can say from banks, commercial banks, and from banks also you have two types. One is called as fund based and other is called as non fund based. Some of these points may not be in your material. Please write it down, because I'm telling you from overall perspective. Some may not be in your textbook curriculum, but they're in the overall syllabus. So from banks, fund based means you take loan, you take cash credit, you take bank overdraft, like that. Non fund means the banks will give you guarantee, letter of credit, they give you guarantee that if you don't make a payment, bank will make a payment. It will matter loss. It will matter a lot, especially when you go to import transaction. When you need to buy a goods from foreign supplier, he needs to get some guarantee that you will make a payment. So banks will do that. That's called as letter of undertaking. They are called as non-fund based source of money. Then you can take loan from friends, relative, that is from personal sources or from colleagues. So personal interactions, personal connections, personal levels. You can take loan from your wife, father-in-law, mother-in-law, like that, but you are at your own risk, you understand. Or you can take loan from even you're not making a payment to employees is a source of finance. You take time to make a salary payment, or suppliers, that is trade credit will be there. So various kinds of sources are there. We have a separate chapter on types of finance, that is second chapter 2. We'll discuss in detail over there. Okay, so as of now, this, and we also have in between one called as venture capital, that we need to discuss. They are outsiders, but they investing as a owner. Venture capitalist is a very beautiful area. We should definitely discuss it. But as of now, just write down this quick chart, various sources, then we'll go further. Please have a look at this quick chart. Please write it down. And if you have any questions, please ask. You can also say like debentures and all, or public deposits. Getting some question. Can you please explain non-fund based again? I'll explain, no issues. I would encourage you people to ask question like this. So when you ask the questions, I will know where to explain, so that over a period of time, I will also understand what kind of understanding you have. So asking doubts is very, very essential. Okay, non-fund based. Fund based means banks gives money to the company. Okay, now overdraft, you take money from the bank. Loan, you take money from the bank. So when you take money from the bank directly, that is fund based. Non fund means banks don't give money, but they give support. How? Like guarantee. That is, you have taken, or you are going to take loan from, let's say, government, or you are going to take loan from one person, and bank says you take loan from IDBI, and if you don't make a repayment, I will repay it. A letter of guarantee. One more example I gave is import. I'll tell you in the import in detail now. You purchase goods from foreign supplier. Let's say a person sitting in Japan, you imported on machinery, but to make a payment you said I want 6 months time. When your friend asks only, you don't give any money. When your parents ask, anyway you don't give. When a person who knows you're not ready to give credit, a person from different country should give you the time for 6 months. Not so easy to convince the supplier to get time to make payment. So what supplier asks, what is the guarantee? First of all, your countrymen have the habit of running away from your own country. Examples, Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and all are there, not making payment and running away. So he will ask, what is the guarantee that you will make a payment after 6 months? So what you do as an Indian importer, you go to a bank, let's say IDBI, SBI, Punjab National Bank, Federal Bank, and where they will give it in the form of writing to the importer, dear so and so, this person is trustworthy. If this person don't make the payment within stipulated time, I will make the payment. A guarantee is given. Now, is bank is giving money to this person, to this business house? No. What they are giving then? A letter. It is called as letter of credit. You're not required to know letter of credit. They will not ask you. It will come to final level in detail for you. But the point is, here bank is not giving the money immediately. They're giving a support, a guarantee. That is called as non-fund based. I hope that point is very clear. In non-fund based transactions, bank don't give money at the beginning. They only give support. One more question is coming. Non-fund bank basically make a contract of guarantee 100% right. Non-fund bank facility does make a contract of guarantee. All your Indian Contract Act, that rules are there, everything will be applicable, but that is not required here. Okay, this is just to tell you that the concept of non-fund based. Can you please explain the retained earning also? No problem, I'll tell you. Now you start a business. Okay, you start a business of, let's say, 1 lakh rupees today, some business. Let's say which business is good now at present. Pharmaceutical company is good, or vegetable business also good now. You can sell good, or like that. Maybe mask production is at a very good level now. Everybody, people are buying mask. So you started a business with 1 lakh. This is your capital. Now you made in 1 month a profit of 1 lakh. A very good time to make profit from mask selling. You made a profit of 1 lakh. Now how much you have on your hand? 2 lakh. Now you are expanding it further. Now for producing more mask, you need more money. Where do you use the money? What do you do? Will you use this 1 lakh only as a source of finance and produce more mask? Or this 1 lakh you withdraw, transfer to your personal account, keep it in cash, keep it in your pocket, and this extra 1 lakh you borrow money from outsiders and do the growth of the business, do extra production. That is retained earnings. Retained earning means the profits earned from the business is reinvested, or it is withdrawn as drawings or as dividends. If the profit is withdrawn, it is not reinvested. It is not available for future reinvestments. Then you need to look for other sources like loan, overdraft, venture capitalist, and so on. So will you reuse the money, flow back of profits, reuse the money, or you go for fresh source? That is the concept of retained earnings. I hope that concept is also cleared. Any other questions you have here in the various source of finance? Overall view, we are not going individually, because when you talk about debenture, we should understand types of debentures. We should talk about promissory notes. Various things are there. We have a chapter we'll discuss. But overview, hope you are able to get it. In the own money and outsiders money, how the characteristics are involved. Any questions? Okay, very good. Let's go further. Equity shares, I told you. Debentures, we discussed overall. Banks, institutions, we discussed. Now, this is important. Please give the heading venture capital financing. Venture capital finance. This is very, very relevant in the present day context. I would like to take some examples of Byju's. I hope you heard of it. Byju's, the app for learning. Ola, Uber, Facebook, Swiggy, Zomato, Flipkarts, and so on. Even the Oyo rooms. I don't know whether you heard of it, for hotels, Oyo rooms. These people are different. When these people started, they only had idea. We are going to do something different, but we need money in large scale. For example, Byju's, you see, they make so many advertisements, so many marketings. They invested heavily in tabs, developing lectures and so on. Even Swiggy also give lot of discounts. They don't make profits. Then how do they manage their finance? They need some backup, right? Somebody should pump in money. Those people who pump in money to supplement your idea. Even there is in our own in Karnataka, there is bounce bikes, mobile bikes. You can use it and keep it and throw it anywhere. That's what people are doing. So when you have an idea which requires funding, these venture capitalists come into picture. These venture capitalists, what they do, they look for new ideas and they will fund your ideas. So basically, if you have a good concept, good business model which has potential, these venture capitalist people will give money, will provide source in crores, in billions of dollars they invest. Even Facebook, when they started, it is funded by a venture capitalist house. Various venture capitalist houses are there. Their job is to find these new entrepreneurs, new ideas and fund them. And in which form they provide? They don't give loans. If they give loan, what they get? Only interest. But that is not their idea. Venture capitalist people are high risky people. They say, even if I lose money, it's okay, but I want huge return. I will invest for 5 years. My money should become double, triple, fourble, fiveable, 10 times. High risk. Because they're taking high risk, they want higher returns. So what these venture capitalist people will do, they invest in early stage, high potential companies, growth companies. They also invest in the form of seed funding, means initial funding, and growth funding. As the company grows, they give more money. In terms of what? In the form of, so this is high growth companies in the form of, or let me just write in a better words. So these people provide finance to high growth potential companies. Please write down along with me. Provide finance to high growth potential companies. Second form, in the form of equity shares, because they become ownership. Because later when the company grows, if you are a lender, if you have given loan, what benefit you have? You can take only interest, nothing else. But if you are equity shareholder, you are the owner of the business. You can sell it and make more profits. So they want to be owners but provide you the finance. So they don't manage business. In the form of equity shares, they don't manage business. They just invest. They just invest. And they don't invest in one or two companies. For you, the venture capitalist may be one source, but venture capitalist job is to find various these different ideas. So they usually invest in portfolio of companies. They usually invest in portfolio of companies. And what is their intention? Their intention is to sell at a higher rate once business grows. Like Facebook, when they started, they invested the idea. It grown well. Now the companies worth billions of dollars. Now they sell their shares, they make profits. They invest 10 rupee and they make 1 lakh rupee, 1000 rupees. That is the ratio. But interesting point is they will fund 100 ideas, but all 100 ideas may not work. Two ideas might work, but the two ideas work will give so much of profits that even if you lose in the balance 98 ideas, you're still a better company. You have done good investment. They keep looking for these new ideas. And how do they invest? Initially they become the shareholders. They keep investing money, business grows, and once the business grows, they make it a listed company. Listed company means they come to stock exchange. Now once they come to stock exchange, what shares they have, they sell it to public. That will be sort of higher price, hence they make profits. So this is the overall structure of venture capitalist. Advantages are there, disadvantages are there, different types of formats are there, for different types of venture capitalists are there. Will not go into it, not required also as a student. But what you need is, venture capitalists are high risk takers. They are high risk takers for high return potential. So their job is look for different ideas, fund their ideas, keep supporting them. Once business grows, make money by selling the shares. This is the overall concept of venture capitalist financing. This much you remember for exam purpose sufficient. More about it, Google is there, you can read it, but this much is sufficient. But today's world, so many ideas, I gave you so many ideas, Byju's, Swiggy are all surviving because of venture capitalists. Otherwise they're all loss making companies. New ideas, new entrepreneurs, even bounce, I told you. But how they survive is because of the fund received by venture capital. Okay, let me take some questions. Are venture capitalists necessarily incubators, or they can be accelerator as well? Both kinds. You have seed funding, who are basically incubators, who will support you an idea. They tell you, okay, you come up with an idea, I will give money to test those ideas also. That is one level. They can be accelerator in the sense, the company is already into progress. One venture capitalist have funded, but they want more money, so one more venture capitalist will join hands. That also is there. So they will act as a supporter as well as a accelerator. So they will come initially, they will come subsequently. There are various kinds of funding. They say seed capital, first round of funding, second round of funding, where they give money for sampling, they give money for manufacturing, they give money for marketing at various levels. And only one venture capitalist need not come. They can always come together, joining hands with other venture capitalists also. And there are cases when even government has supported along with venture capitalists in some places to uplift some backward areas in some places. These things are also in practice. But get the overall idea, that is important. Okay, any other questions before we go further? Will we move further? Is it fine? Oh, good. Let's go further. Now, two parts I told you: procurement of funds and application of funds. Procurement of funds, I told you, debentures, equity share, preference shares, venture capitalist, and all. Now, when you invest, what are the points to be kept in mind? The financial manager is responsible for effective utilization of funds. Remember, in corporate world, if somebody says there is an opportunity in this area, please give money, you will not be like, oh, you want money, take money. It will not happen like that. It will follow certain steps. A financial manager should consider various aspects and then give his approval whether investment is required or not. So what things to be kept in mind? So he must point out situations where funds are kept idle or used improperly. All funds procured at a certain cost and after entailing a certain amount of risk. Every source of funds will have a cost. Keep it in mind. Every source of fund will have a cost. If you take money from the bank, you have to pay interest. If you take money from shareholders, they expect return on their investment in terms of profits. You should fulfill their expectations. If you take money from venture capitalists, you should provide them high returns. So every source of fund will have a cost, and when you use it in the business, that cost must be generated. So financial manager should always be having data on what is the cost of every 1 rupee generated. Funds should be generated in such a manner so that they generate income at a higher than the cost of procurement. That means you should always make sure benefit is more than cost. You should not take like, I will take a 12% loan and I'll invest in 8% investment. That should not happen, right? If I take 12% loan, I should invest in a project which gives me at least 12%. Then only it's worth doing the business. So what are the various kinds points to be considered? One, expect income that can be generated. Cash flows are important. Depreciation to be considered. Scrap value that have useful life, that cash flow also will come. When you claim depreciation for tax purpose, tax benefit will come. Should I purchase the asset or should I lease the asset? These kind of things. A typical thing, should I purchase house or should I take the house on rent? Same thing for business. Should I own my building or should I take it on rental purpose, rental basis? Different kinds of companies are there. Certain companies, let's say software companies, have their own building, and certain companies are rented premises. Both has its own advantages and disadvantages. So that is what you need to consider. We'll come to these things separately. Now, managing working capital. Working capital means day-to-day operations. One question also I asked: what type of one second, I'm getting one message. Someone is willing to rejoin the meeting, but I'm not getting any request. No, I'm not getting a request. If I get a request, I'll admit it. Someone is trying to join meeting. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see any person who is coming additionally. Okay, let's move further. Okay, so working capital means money required for day-to-day operations. You take an example of a hotel, restaurant. How the business works: people come, sit, they eat, they give money and go. So cash and carry model. They don't require much of working capital because they get money from the customers and they give, and then they purchase the vegetables and provisions and so on. So that the rotation works faster. But a company, let's say kirana stores, provision stores, kirana stores, they buy biscuits, they buy groceries, they keep it. It will not be sold immediately on the same day. They take some 2-3 days. They will can have bread, they can have some chocolates. It will be there with them for like 10 days, 15 days. So they need money to manage. So till the customer comes and buy the product, their money would be blocked in purchasing those inventories. So restaurant business, the lowest working capital. Kirana stores, retail business requires little bit higher. You think about a manufacturing company, manufacturing of let's say heavy machineries. To manufacture the machinery, they require 1 year. So till they manufacture, they don't get money from their customer. Let's say construction companies, construction of house. You have Purvankura projects who build apartments. So until they complete, which will they take about 3 years, 5 years, maybe sometimes it is a big project. They don't get any money from their customers. But till then, they have to manage their expense. They have to buy materials. They have to pay their expenses, architects, all the supervisors, construction materials cost, legal cost. But customer will come later. So till then, you need to manage your business, means you need money. That is working capital. So a company which is having a, a nature or different types of business might have a higher working capital or a lower working capital. This is one of the application of funds. And higher working capital means more amount is blocked. Like if you keep too much of inventory, that means you would have invested too much of money. If the inventory is not sold, money becomes waste. And till the inventories are sold, your money is blocked. So if you have taken a loan and purchased some inventory, till the inventories are sold, you have to keep on paying interest. So you will have higher cost. Sometimes if the dates becomes longer, the items are slow moving items, that they may not be sold at all, they become worthless. So these are the risks that you need to consider while taking a decision. Okay, so what is that broad thing we discussed so far with respect to the functions of financial management? Procurement of funds was about source, and we understood the concept of different types of source and the cost of source. Now application of funds means you have investment in like fixed assets like purchase of machinery, land and building, and you have management of working capital. So fixed assets are long term investments and working capital are short term investments. This is what we discussed just now. Okay, let's go further now. This is important from exam point of view, very important from exam point of view. This point, objectives of financial management. Is it profit maximization or wealth maximization? Very important question from exam point of view. Very important question from exam point of view. Objectives of financial management, please mark it somewhere. Profit maximization, wealth maximization. Now profit maximization means when I make a decision, oh, this is more profitable, this is less profitable, I'll invest it. But wealth maximization means not immediate profit, over a period of time, which is having higher benefit. So profit maximization is more on a short term and wealth maximization is more of a long term in nature. I'll give an example. Suppose you have to purchase raw materials. First person says, I will give you a 30 rupees per kg. And second person says, I will give you a 32 rupees per kg. You tell 30 rupees cheaper. I will buy off from his case. But what point to be considered is he going to supply the raw material consistently on time? If you look at the background track record, A gives you at a cheaper rate, but he will not give the goods on time. But B, even though takes more rate, but provides you on the right time. So in terms of your process, manufacturing goods, delivering the goods to supply your customers, even though B is charging extra, is more reliable. So when you take a decision, it is not just profit from that one transaction. You should consider overall impact in the long term. Will you able to do it? So those kind of things is what is profit maximization versus wealth maximization. Various examples can be given. One more point is, let's say that uh, you have a choice in the morning. One, get up early morning and start listening to my difficult lectures on financial management. Other choice, sleep. Which is better? Sleeping is better. Some people will sleep when I teach also. That is different matter. But you have two choices: get up and learn, or sleep. Benefit wise, sleep is beneficial. Learning is hard. Everybody in this weather, Bangalore, lockdown, people are taking rest, sleeping. You see a student getting up and learning all these things in the early morning. So benefit wise, immediate benefit wise, sleeping is beneficial, but learning will come with you throughout. That is the value addition you get. The concepts you learn are not just for exams but for your life. So those things are going to not give you more profit but gives you more wealth. So that is the overall concept: profit maximization versus wealth maximization, and uh, limitations and all is there. But financial management always talks about wealth maximization. Let's do one thing. Let me give a quick comparison so that you can make a bullet points. Details are there in material. You can read through it. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So profit maximization, wealth maximization. So term wise, profit maximization is short term, whereas wealth maximization is long term. And definition wise, profit definition is vague, ambiguous definition. Profit definition is not very clear. Profit after tax, profit before tax, operating profit, gross profit, contribution, profit for the purpose of Companies Act, profit for the purpose of uh, Income Tax Act, profit for the purpose of Payment of Bonus Act. The term profit is vague because different kinds of expense are there. But wealth means it's always shareholders' wealth, value per share. That's why profit maximization is not very clearly defined, it is vague, not very clearly defined. Wealth maximization is clearly defined. Okay. And time value of money, because profit maximization is short term, time value of money is ignored. But in wealth maximization is long term, so time value of money is also considered. Then risk component. Profit maximization ignores risk component. As I told you, which is profitable, or I select it. I will not consider its implication, like how many years that supplier is going to give you goods. Is he going to provide quality goods? Will he give it on time? This risk component is not considered profit maximization. Wealth maximization is risk component is also is considered. As a result of this, the objective of financial management is to not profit maximization unless specified in the problem, to wealth maximization. Therefore, main objective of financial management, main objective of financial management is maximizing shareholders' wealth. Maximizing shareholders' wealth. That is share value or value per share, market price, whatever you say, share value. So the main focus for a financial management manager is different alternatives which will maximize shareholders wealth. I told you what is the main focus of the financial management, functions of financial management, procurement of funds and application of funds. Now procurement of funds means, where do you get the money? You get the money from shareholders. And when you invest, you should make a decision such a way that their money, the shareholders' money, is fully utilized and provides maximum return, not in terms of profit, in terms of their wealth. That is why, as I told you an example, Infosys believe in philosophy of repaying the shareholders. They get profits, they pay dividends. But Reliance believes in the philosophy of investing in new business. Different people follow different approach, but everything is to maximize shareholders' wealth. Everything is to maximize shareholders' wealth. So, my dear friends, when you make a decision, also keep this point in mind in your personal life. What to eat, with whom to have friends, having friendships, what books to read, where to take coaching, when to take exams. Once you start business, if you have practice, whom to take as clients, whom to take as employees. If you are a financial management of a company, you are in a higher level management, how do you treat your employees, how do you treat your bosses? Keep the wealth objective in mind, not immediate profits. Like, don't go for immediate short term benefits, don't gossip around, don't invest for a short term benefits. Okay, today I get the benefits, let me do something. If I talk about this person with another person, today I will be in a good position. Think long term. Don't make immediate decision, because you get the maximum profit now, but its implications are going to be not so positive. So if you have a choice, like, I should congratulate you for doing CA, but many people don't do CA. They do only BCom or some other course. They think that CA is riskier. True, but it's worth it, right? So it's long term. If you think, the effort you put in for CA is always going to be worth it. Not only here, everywhere. So when you make a decision, always keep the wealth in mind, not the profit in mind. To tell you in a slightly funnier, lighter way, when you choose your life partner, don't select a partner who can give you more salary, better who has a lot of wealth. Long term decision. Anyway, just want to tell you about example, don't take me personally. But throughout, here FM, in final SFM, and after that also, keep this objective in mind very clearly. The sole purpose of financial management is to maximize shareholders' wealth. Of course, if you make more profit, more wealth also will be generated. But don't focus only on profit. As long as profit can generate wealth, then that investment opportunity is good. That source of finance is also good. So these are the points to be kept in mind as far as objective of financial management is concerned. Wealth maximization, I told you. Profit maximization versus wealth maximization is one of the important questions from examination point of view. Three decisions are there. Quickly run through it. Investing decision, basically application of funds. Financing decision is about source, cost of capital, etc. Dividend decision is about distribution of profits. Distribution of profits. In fact, my dear friends, all the three are part of your syllabus. Investment decisions, you have three chapters: working capital, capital budgeting, and capital budgeting under risk. Financing decision, you have three chapters: cost of capital, so fourth actually, types of financing, cost of capital, capital structure, and then you have leverage. Dividend decision also separate chapter. So all these decisions what you have is different chapter in your syllabus. We'll be discussing one by one. Okay, investing decisions we discussed in detail. We'll discuss it later. Dividend decisions. I'll give an example. Relationship with other discipline. One of the theory question you can expect, like uh, they say finance is the lifeblood of business. For every department in the business, finance is basically required. Where you go for production department, inventory is there, manufacturing is there, they require money. Payable management, you need to make the payment to your supplier, when to make, how much to make, should you go for immediate payment and get a discount, or should I make a later date payment? Finance is there. Marketing, receivables management, if I give more credit to customer, if I give more time, more number of people will come, but more number of people will come, but some people may not pay, bad debts is there. So on one hand, if I give more time, more number of people will come, but bad debt problem is there. If I give less time, less number of people might come, but bad debts also will reduce. We have to maintain a balance. Similarly, personal finance, bonus, how much to make, should I share the profit among the employees? So all these things. So every department you talk about business has connection with finance. One theory question you can expect. So in summary, financial management is all about long-term decision and making investments, cost benefit analysis because it's about decision making, and more than profit, we take wealth maximization as the objective. Wealth means we connect with cash flow rather than profit, and time value of money is the basic foundation of financial management. So we should discuss time value of money concept, simple interest, compound interest, annuities, formulas, and all we should discuss. Then how do you compute the cash flow? What are the formats? Balance sheet format, income statement format, these things also we should discuss. But before that, any questions that we discussed today, if you want, you can ask any question. Any question on today's topic? Entirely basics. You have not done any problems. I hope you have not slept off completely. I know some of you would have slept most, some of you would have half slept. Theory, I can't help. Tomorrow and all we'll do more problems, don't worry. Any questions you want to ask now? Okay, good. Uh, so before we conclude, one small point. Every day, I'll try to do every day, but if not, some days might be missed. Every day, I will give you 10 MCQ questions to write, so that it will have a everyday revision kind of thing. 10 MCQ questions. I will share in the WhatsApp group link. You just have to click the link. Questions will come. Write your name, mobile number, email ID. Make sure your mobile number, email ID, mobile and your name are all three are fully correct, and that is going to be used as evaluation. So every day I'll give you 10 MCQ question on today topic, so that it will be a good revision before you come to next day class. And once everything is over, I will give you analysis, like once this month class gets over, I mean in July month class gets over, you have written 20, 25, maybe 30 MCQ tests, you have scored this much marks, this area is weak, you are not scored well, like that I will give you analysis at the end. Maybe in between also I'll try to do a written test. I'm trying to have, but I'm not sure I can evaluate. I'll give you test, I'll give you answer keys, but evaluation, my writing, I'm just thinking, I don't know whether I'll be able to do, but I'll make sure every week one test is conducted, and then I will give you answer keys for you to verify. That will also be done. Now 10 MCQ question, please make sure your name is correct, your mobile number is correct, your email ID is very clearly correct. I will share it every day, and that will cover that day topic, which is going to act as a revision, as well as future it will give you analysis to understand which area you have limitations and which area you have scored well. Okay, so we'll stop at this point. It's exactly 9:30 here. Please revise the concepts today itself before you come tomorrow class. We'll stop at this point. Have a nice day. Tomorrow we'll meet at same time 6:30. Have a nice day.